Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the FPL Affairs podcast, a podcast that strips back and lays bare our season-long love affair with FPL. In our latest team selection video, Weasel reveals whether or not he is considering making any changes to his wildcard squad from last game week. I also outline the dilemmas I'm facing, from benchings to whether or not I should use any of my 2 free transfers. Before we get started, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for all of our content, and ring that bell to be notified each time we release something new. Anyway, enough of my small talk. Let's get cracking.
And there's Mo Salah. There goes Haaland. He's on his way again. He's hungry. He's scored. Ice cold precision from Palmer. Kayo Saka. That is a diamond of a goal.
Greetings everybody to our team selections video with me, Matt, aka the FPL Affairs Magpie, and alongside me with his team eager to share after wildcarding successfully last week is Paul, aka the FPL Affairs Weasel. How are you, mate, and looking forward to the weekend?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's been a long break, and yeah, can't wait to get back in the swing of things again.
So I think we'll jump straight into looking at your team, really, how it's provisionally set up. Bus team, which, if anyone is unsure about the term bus team and where it comes from, it's basically how your team is set up if you were to be hit by a bus. Very grim and graphic reasoning, but yeah, hence why I often, as soon as the deadline's passed, I set my team up straight away for the following game week at the earliest opportunity, and then save the transfers, obviously, till near the end, which is been a tricky thing to do after 2 weeks, but we'll come on to mine after, and we'll look at yours first. Which, and as I think I said in the last episode, it's quite apt that the two thumbnail players, you've got both of them. Is that correct? Am I correct
I
with
have
that?
indeed.
Yeah, both Bowen and Enzo Fernandez. So what was funny was I set up Paul's bus team using FPL team, and then you Paul sent me it with a different picture, and it's set up slightly differently, but I didn't have time to change it. So you can talk through yours, looking at how it's set up there and how you'd set it up differently. Take it away.
Yeah, it's an absolute nightmare this week for me. Now, I wish I'd saved my bench boost. It's the perfect week to bench boost for my team. Now I've got some massive selection dilemmas. So I've gone for Roofs in goal as well at home to Wolves, and basically Wolves are the worst team in the league this year, so it's a no-brainer. Sunderland looking really good. And obviously, Sanchez has got a good fixture against Forest, but I think Roofs edges it for me and goalkeeper choice. My back three, I've gone for Virgil at home to Manchester United, Rodon away to Burnley, and Gabriel away to Fulham. But yeah, Richards at home to Bournemouth and Senesi away to Palace. Both obviously good options as well on my bench. See the best team that you've put up's got Richards playing. I assume it's picked Richards because he's at home, and it hasn't gone for Rodon because he's away to Burnley.
So you're
But
probably picking Rodon then.
Yeah, I've gone for Rodon because he's got goal threat. He's scored in internationals, and I think it's going to be goalless. But
And
yeah, it's a tricky.
And therefore you've got Richards and Senesi on your bench. You've got it.
But that could be very painful this week, I feel. They're both great for DEFCONs, and if it is a goalless draw, they could both end up with 8 or 9 points.
So you're how I set the bus team, it's got you down in a 3-5-2. Are you playing the same formation or different?
I'm playing 3-4-3.
Okay, so how's it differ?
So I've got Semenyo, obviously, get away to Palace. He's got to play in the form of his life. Playing Chaka at home to Wolves, Sarr at home to Bournemouth, and Saka's my vice captain away to Fulham. At the moment, I've got Enzo on the bench because obviously he's flagged, and I think he's probably the weakest of my 8 attackers. but obviously Forest haven't started the season great, and he's got many routes to go, so it could be another painful bench decision.
Mm.
So, as I keep saying, and I wish I had kept my bench boost because all of my on-field players have got great causes why they should start this week. But I've obviously got a bench for one of them, and just got to hope I've called it right this week.
So if the Prescott and so you said 3-4-3, so then up front you've got Haaland captain.
Yeah, Strand Larson away to Sunderland and Bowen at home to Brentford, which I think
So
they've both got two fantastic fixtures.
if if Enzo is past fit then in the press conference, what would you do? Would you keep him first sub or would you start him?
I don't know, originally when I did my bus team, I had him on the bench, and then I did switch him for Saka. Chaka, not Saka, Chaka. But I just like them. Their fixture at home to Wolves. I think he's got 3 assists in the last 3 games, hasn't he, Chaka?
Yeah, I would think
Yeah.
because Sunderland are quite tight defensively, particularly at home. But that's the reason I'd bench Strand Larson and play Enzo.
Uh,
That's my
but yeah, I've
reason.
got Strand Larson specifically though for these few fixtures.
Mm.
That's why I picked him in my wild card. So obviously he's got Sunderland this week and Burnley next week.
So you've got one free transfer and zero point 0.2 million in the bank, I believe.
Uh, yeah, I'll be rolling this week.
That definite.
Yeah, that's the only definite decision I made this week so far. And
Oh,
I got to
surely
hope the press
captaincy is a definite
conferences
as
might
well.
help it. So,
Surely captaincy is a definite as well.
um, yeah, I'll be a fool to go against Haaland.
Mm.
But I've got vice captain Saka. But I was reading actually the other day they're a great pair to be have for rotating captaincy for the next 8 weeks. They rotate very well.
Yeah, I think the only game week where it's not so great is game week 12. I think
Uh-huh.
that's the only one. So it would be looking at your team and what appealing fixtures there are for game week 12 and who would be a good alternative for that week.
Salah's got the perfect fixture.
Yeah. So I think it's if you're wild card in this week, if it's feasible to have both Salah and Haaland, then it's still worth considering um, for that reason. Plus, but then it would be tricky getting Haaland, Saka, and Salah in the rotation. But that's
Who
that.
would you pick for my team then?
What for captaincy?
No, for the actual selection, would you go once on the screen?
Um, I'd think I'd go for the 3-5-2 um, option, benching Strand Larson. Captaincy, obviously do the same. Vice captaincy, I'll do the same. Um, because I wouldn't want
Keepers
Strand
the same.
Larson versus Root. It would. So mine, for me, the benching headache would be Rodon or Richards. Um, to avoid head-to-head defense versus attack. Um, but then on the flip side, you'd say Richards is the two things. Richards at home, and he's arguably more likely to get DEFCON than Rodon, possibly.
He's up against Semenyo in the form of his life as well, though.
Yeah. Um, so it would be easier having Senesi and Richards on the bench and play Rodon away to Burnley, and hope for that to be a low scoring or goalless draw. But I think that's the only difference really from the 3-5-2. I definitely bench Senesi. I definitely bench Strand Larson. Um, yeah, yeah, that's what I would do. I think for yours. So it seems yours is fairly set.
Yeah, very quiet week this week.
So looking at mine, how it reads, and I've got two free transfers in the bank, 1.3 million. Um, Pope in goal away to Brighton. Back three, I've actually got provisionally starting Senesi alongside Gabriel and Van der Ven. So Senesi's away to Palace, Gabriel away to Fulham, and Van der Ven at home to Villa. I've got in midfield provisionally Foden at home to Everton, Caicedo away to Forest, and Ndiaye away to Man City, Semenyo away to Palace, João Pedro is my vice captain away to Forest, Gyökeres away to Fulham, and Haaland captain home to Everton. So I've got a very um, stack-filled team that are on the road. On the bench, I've got Dubravka at home to Leeds, Reinders at home to Everton, Tarkowski away to City, and Goodmanson away to Burnley. Um, so I mean, I could in theory play Goodmanson instead of Senesi. I could play Dubravka instead of Pope, although um, I'm a lot more confident in our defence, um, despite our terrible record at Brighton. Um, my main headaches really would be because Everton are quite solid and Reinders out of the seven fixtures, it's only really the opening day and one other fixture that he's returned. Um, I've got Foden at home to Everton already, and Ndiaye's you probably he's been good this season for Defcon, so he's either achieved it or got not too far away. He's nailed for penalties. Um, so those are kind of why I've got him in there. Um, yeah,
You're not tempted to bench
my
boost this week.
no, not bench boosting this week. Some people may think what, but yeah, no. I'm looking, spoiler alert, I'm looking more bench boost next week. So depending what I do with these two transfers, as well as the transfer I'd get for game week 9, they'll be tailored um to a decent bench boost in game week 9 rather than 8. The reason being because I think it means whoever I'd have on the bench would not be playing against each other. Whereas like my bench for this, I've got Dubravka against Goodmanson and Reinders against Tarkowski on my
I had
bench.
that on
So
my bench boost days, didn't I? With Devcons, it's not so bad this year.
so either way, rightly or wrongly, I think I'm inclined more with next week's one, which we'll cover then. Um, so what I keep really debating is, and it sounds template or boring, or which is the Gyökeres to Saka Arsenal switch. Um, and I have to do that really to free up the funds to get up to Saka. And I think to do it in two moves without taking a hit, it's really Gyökeres and Foden. Um,
Who'd your striker be?
um, well, there's not that many on form, and I'd be biased and go for Voltemada.
Mhm. I
Um,
totally agree.
and I think to be fair, I'd um, the next choice of changing striker would be João Pedro to Bowen, but again, as we've said, Chelsea's fixtures. Um, I've already got Caicedo, so I won't be interested in um, Enzo. And the next one, which I'd kind of be considering, but not for this week, is Ismail Assar for NDI probably. Straight swap price wise. The alternative would be Declan Rice. Um,
Yeah, all great picks.
mm, but then I go with it's how Saka and Voltemada are on better form than Foden and Gyökeres. Um, I mean, in Gyökeres international form sums it up as well. Him and Isak up front and could hardly muster a single shot against who were they playing? Kosovo, was
I
it that
can't remember.
Sweden played? Um, and you'd kind of perhaps say, well, Foden at home to Everton is that marginally better than away to Fulham? Because Everton's defence is marginally better than Fulham's. But then Foden's at home, and he did have quite a few chances again away to Brentford. Um, and Gyökeres, and knowing Newcastle's form, I'd say for a forward, Fulham away is better than Brighton away. So I do have a temptation to just roll for this week, um, and keep Foden and Gyökeres.
Yeah, they've
Alternative
both
is
got good
to,
fixtures.
pardon,
Yeah, they've both got good fixtures. There's no need to sell them.
mm, which then just kind of leaves it. Um, because again, if I if I did do the switch, so I didn't have Foden and Haaland was my only City asset, I then play Reinders over NDI, I think.
You're not tempted to do that anyway.
Well, as I said, NDI set pieces, better chance of DEFCON than Reinders, more attacking threat than Reinders, nailed on penalties. So, and to be fair, triple Man City against Everton, triple
You
Man
think
City
Everton will score
attack
then?
versus Everton, which again is why kind of if I did go Saka, I'd have no Everton representation over City, and I'd only have double City rather than triple, um, because I'd have effectively, yeah, Reinders as a second City asset rather than Foden, and NDI would be moved down to the bench. Um, but yeah, if I do roll, I've then got three transfers going into the game week. I've been planning to bench boost.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Hmm.
Why did you choose Van de Ven, by the way, to start?
To start, um, home fixture, and I've got very few home fixtures in my squad this week. Very, very few. Um,
You're not tempted by Goodmanson?
Possibly. Um, but as I said, it's the away versus home fixture. Um, and Aston Villa, yes, they've scored goals in the last, what, two fixtures in all competitions or something, or three fixtures in all competitions. Um, doesn't necessarily they're going to score at Spurs, I think.
I think they will, but then obviously Spurs have been quite good defence wise. So yeah, both are very unpredictable this season.
Mm, yeah, it was
So yeah,
when wildcard in the team was looking all right, but then small oversight of the number of um, players away from home in the squad, which was another reason why I thought I don't especially want to bench boost this week because the flip side means next week I'll have the vast majority of the squad playing at home. Um, so it would be getting in players that whoever is away from home in the squad that would perhaps be on the bench would be players that have got half decent away fixtures. Um, and
is there a
rolling and
massive difference in home and away form this year with teams? I've
mm,
not looked into it.
yeah, perhaps I'm being too um, trying to think of the word now, not pessimistic, too traditionalist or something.
Obviously, defenders are more likely to get def cons away from home, aren't they? Now,
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. Which is why, in a way, even perhaps even playing Tarkovsky over Van de Ven. But I can see City scoring more than once, and
yeah, because
but
things
then I
still
can
out,
also
isn't he?
see,
Braithwaite's still out for Everton,
pardon,
and Braithwaite's still out for Everton, isn't he?
hmm.
So they're much stronger when he's partnering in Tarkowski.
In the last couple of game weeks, it's been Keane that's been getting more DEFCON than Tarkovsky by a country mile. Um,
Uh-huh.
but then Man City away is a completely different kettle of fish.
But yeah, Everton keep more clean sheets when it's Keane's not playing.
Mm, yeah.
But that's why he's
So
got more def cons because he's had to obviously make more defensive contributions.
yeah, so we shall see. And part of me thinks I'll what I do might be dictated by price changes. So it might be I make the double move or even just one of the moves. Um, if it looks like that player is going to go up in price, and then do the rest next week or early transfers next week, depending on where those players are at.
How much money you got to play with?
Well, 1.3 million in the bank. So Foden's what, 8.1, 1.8 to go from him up to Saka. So I therefore need to raise 500,000 as it stands. And Gyökeres down to Voltemada is what, 1.9 million, I think.
Yeah, still game money, won't you?
7.2 up to 1.9. So I'd
Yes,
have
money's not
about
really an issue, is it?
I'd pretty much actually have um I'd pretty much have exactly the same money in the bank, roughly. It's just a balance of the funds. Because Gyökeres is point 0.8. Saka is, if you look at price points, Saka is 0.8 above Gyökeres, I think. And um, Foden is 0.8 or 0.9 ahead of Voltemada. So, yeah, it's pretty much as a pairing, same cost. Mm. So, those of you watching, let us know in the comments below what you think I should do, whether that be roll, do Foden and Gyökeres to Saka and Voltemada, or to do one of those moves, or to do an alternative move. Because I did actually even just think, well, possibly do either Reinders or NDI out and bring in Saar. That was a thought. Um,
Yeah, Sar's the main man at Palace now. His
mm,
age gone.
but then if I'm playing Senesi, um, I wouldn't especially want that. So then that would be having to look at benching Senesi like you and playing Goodmanson instead.
But Senesi does worry me because I think he will get DEFCON against Palace.
Mm. It's hard to
Uh,
say because in some ways I think Tarkowski would be more likely to get DEFCON against City, but I suspect City will score more than Crystal Palace.
True.
Mm. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a massive headaches for both of us this week, isn't there?
yeah,
Yeah, and please do comment on that. Who would you bench in my team?
mm.
That'd be
Yeah.
interesting to see what other people's views on it.
Benchings for Weasels and transfers for mine, if any. So how you can get in touch with us as usual, via email, lowercase, no characters, fplaffairs at gmail.com. X, our handle is FPL Affairs. Facebook, search in the groups FPL Affairs or click the link in our channel description. YouTube, our handle is at FPL Affairs. Don't forget the at symbol. I won't go in. You would have seen on the last video my reasoning for always mentioning the at symbol, and Spotify, the link along the bottom, and our league codes on the right for our classic league code 1 2, then lowercase RRCG, and our challenge league lowercase I 6, lowercase is NQNB. Thank you for watching and for joining me and putting up with my croaky voice and um, looking at my take on Weasel's team, his take on mine, and vice versa, and so on. If you found the video useful for you, then please like it and subscribe to the channel to get access to all of our content. And if you click the bell thing, you should be notified each time we release something new. Final thoughts, Paul, for
Yeah, good
you.
luck, everyone. I think I'm going to have a painful week this week. I think a lot of people are going to be bench boosting.
Mm.
So I'm expecting the red arrow this week. And
And I'm
as I
with the
said in the
number of
previous video, so
and I'm with the number of players with away fixtures. That's why I'm sort of semi preparing myself for a red arrow. despite somehow managing to claw up from 7.5 to 3.5 over the last 4 weeks. Um, but onwards and upwards, long way to go still, 31 weeks. And if I'm bench boosting next week, then hopefully that will benefit doing it next week over this. So
Yeah,
yeah,
fingers
good luck
crossed.
everybody. Um, good luck with green arrows and your final choices. Let us know what you're going to do. So keep your FPL affairs under wraps until the Saturday deadline at 11 o'clock, I believe.
It is indeed.
Yeah, and good luck. Good luck to you, Weasel, and I shall speak to you, no doubt, in advance of Saturday. So goodbye from me.
Goodbye, everyone. Good luck.